Hello YouTube! So this video will probably be my favorite video I ever make, just because I put so much thought, energy, and time into making it perfect. So if you could leave a like, not for like rating so people can find my channel, just so I feel like appreciated for all my hard work, that would be awesome. Anyway, here's my top 10 favorite Pokemon. Coming at number 10 is Leavanny. Now this Pokemon barely squeaked in. It is not a great Pokemon. It has a nice attack, but its dual type with Grass and Bug makes it extremely vulnerable to like everything, to flying and fire especially. But I used it when I played Black version. I named it Dot after that not that Pokemon, the guy in the Disney movie, whatever. And my Leavanny was the sole reason I beat the Elite Four. It turned out to be so much more than I could have ever hoped for, and I love that potential in the weak. Like, you look at it and you're like, oh, it's so cute, then it tears people apart. That's what I loved about it. So Leavanny slid its way on into my top 10. For number 9 we have a classic, Lapras. Now, Lapras has been with everybody since the beginning. You get one for free in Yellow version, somebody just hands it to you. In Silver version, you go to the cave on Fridays, and you can catch one in White too, I think. I think that's the first game after the first 2 generations where you can catch one. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that it's both competitive, it has a story, you know, Ash uses one, and it's just beautiful. Like, look at the graphic design on this Pokemon. Like, this could be a real thing. I'm in love with Lapras because it wins battles, it's got chunky defense and a nice special attack, but it's also like and somebody who doesn't know anything about Pokemon could look at it and be like, oh, I love this thing. So I guess my point is that it's aesthetically pleasing but also extremely competitive. Taking number 8 is my last Generation 5 Pokemon, Scrafty. Now, there's a lot of reasons I like Scrafty. I had one when I played my Black version, and it was an awesome combination of types, and it proved extremely useful. It had awesome attack, and it was just all around impressive. But way more than that is that it's one of the first Pokemon that Game Freak / Nintendo, whoever designs Pokemon, made that is badass. And you look at this guy, he has a mohawk, he sags his pants, and I'm not like ripping on Game Freak for making cutesy Pokemon all the time. That's not the point. The point is that they stepped out of their comfort zone with Scrafty and Scraggy, and it worked. These are such these Pokemon have such personality, and they're so interesting. So I was impressed when I found Scrafty, and it'll always be one of my favorites. Number 7 for me is probably predictable. It's Salamence. Salamence is the most like any dragon you'll find in any Pokemon game. It's got an awesome color scheme, and more than that, everybody used one. Everybody went to that little cave in the moon cave or whatever and got their bag on and trained it up to get a Salamence. And especially now that I play competitively, I always use Salamence. It has the Dragon Dance to get the speed and then the attack, and then you use Moxie, and every time you kill an opponent's Pokemon, you gain a base attack. So it goes like 1.5, 2, 3, 4, and then it gets crazy powerful. You can sweep so easy with a Salamence. So I guess because it takes me back to my days of Emerald, and because it's so competitive, Salamence earns my number 7 spot. Number 6 for me has to be Absol. Man, Absol is cool. You look at it, and you're a little bit afraid, you're a little bit intrigued, and this Pokemon is so mysterious. It was such a good design by the creators of this game. You look at it and you say, dark Pokemon, and it 100% does it successfully. The contrast between the white and the black is awesome, and you know what's interesting? I've never used one in one of my games. I've never had an Absol. I don't know why. I've always been obsessed with it, but I never got the chance, I suppose, or I never went for it. So I don't know. Looking at it, it's just extremely impressively designed, and I'm a fan. Absol will always be up there for me, despite my lack of ever using it. This next Pokemon, my number 5, takes me way, way back. And I think it should be on everybody's top 10 list because it's so nostalgic. Charizard for me means the very first time I played Pokemon. When I picked Charmander, trained it as best as I could, and when I evolved into Charizard, I was blown away. I was like, this is a fire-breathing winged lizard, blah! I mean, I was in first grade, but it was extremely fun for me to watch the progression from Charmander to Charizard. And like, everybody had that trading card. I mean, I have that Charizard, and I love it. It's like my prized possession. And you use Charizard again in Leaf Green. I mean, it's one of the best starters of all time, and it really piqued my interest for Pokemon. So I guess I just love it so much because it takes me back to my youth. So now we're getting to the Pokemon that really mean a lot to me, that really kind of define who I am as a Pokemon player. So at number 4 we have Lugia, and I opted to only keep one legendary in this top 10, and it has to be Lugia. Lugia is the coolest legendary Pokemon there ever will be. You could never surpass the coolness that is Lugia. Poor Ho-Oh is just left behind in that generation. Lugia has so much awesome backstory. I mean, I've read the manga comics because I'm a loser, and there's a lot of interesting stuff there. You look at Shadow Lugia, which I'm not going to even mention, but it is an extremely cool side story. And then you look at Pokemon 2000. It's just, when I caught Lugia as a young kid, I trained it to such a high level just because I was obsessed, and I still am obsessed. I still have my Lugia that it's hard to put into words how much this Pokemon has defined my interest in the game. Soul Silver and Silver versions will always be the best games for me, and I'm pretty sure that's because of my obsession with Lugia. And if you can sense all the energy in my voice, it's because I love Lugia. So now we're at the top 3, and it was really hard to not rank Blaziken much higher as in number 1, because Blaziken is my favorite starter of all time. Torchic, Mabusken, Blaziken. I had a Blaziken the very first time I played Emerald version, and I named it Buddy. I don't know why. I think it was because I thought it was a cheat when you named your starter Pokemon Buddy. It was stronger or something. So I had this Buddy, which turned into a Blaziken eventually, and that I imported to my Diamond version, and then I imported to my Black version, and then I imported to my White 2 version. And it's level 94. That is the highest I've ever trained a Pokemon. Ever. I mean, gosh, this Pokemon has been with me forever, and it got the perfect learn set. I've EV trained it now for a couple levels, and it's just amazing. So I'm so happy that I have a Pokemon I can call my own that I've had forever, and that means so much to me personally. So I guess what I want to say is, thank you to Blaziken for being my buddy forever. So I really had to restrain myself from making this entire top 10 out of Generation 2 Pokemon. Generation 2 will always be my favorite. It has the best artwork, the best Pokemon, the best story. And here is Espeon, one of the shining glories of Generation 2. Now Espeon has a killer special attack. It defines Pokemon who have speed and the special attack to finish the job. It starts a whole new breed of Pokemon. There was never a Pokemon before that could hit first every time and kill it every time. You might be thinking Alakazam, which I'll give to you, but Espeon is so much cooler than Alakazam. So I got an Espeon for the first time not that long ago because I never had the patience to friendship breed in Generation 2 because it's way harder back then. But I finally got one and I used it, and I don't know, something about knowing that you would one-hit KO everything the first turn made it so impressive that it was hard not to make Espeon my number 1 pick. But I think number 2 is a good choice for Espeon, and I think it's just, I don't know, I think Espeon will always be the best Eevee evolution and one of the best Pokemon out there, competitively and just because it's cute. Some of you might have figured this out already, or just known this about me, but I am obsessed with Scizor. Look at my avatar, look down at the bottom left hand of the video. My avatar is a Scizor. I think it is just the shit. I love Scizor. I had one. Me and my sister played through Soul Silver and Heart Gold during Christmas, and I caught a Scyther. And as a joke, I named it Lefty, because, like, to assume that it's left-handed, it's not funny. I know, I'm not funny. But anyway, I imported that all the way to White 2, and now I do, like, competitive battling with it. Scizor is just, A, the coolest looking Pokemon there ever will be, and I will go toe-to-toe with any of you on the fact that Scizor is the coolest looking Pokemon there ever will be. B, it's competitive. I mean, it's not that fast, but it's got huge attack, and if you give it a Sword Stance, holy shit. And decent defense, and if you give it Bullet Punch, then you have a priority move with Stab, and if you have Technician, that's already 80 damage. Double it with Sword Stance, and that's 160 damage. People who don't play competitively have no idea what I just said, but just take my word that it's a good competitive Pokemon. And it's hard to get. You have to get a Metal Coat to get it from a Scyther. And a Scyther is not easy to get either, so I guess I just have to appreciate the novelty of the whole. It's difficult to get, but worth the effort. So that's why Scizor is my #1 Pokemon. If you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment with your top 5 or top 1 Pokemon, because I'll read it, I'll love to know. That was fun to make. See you guys next week.